I am Jane McGee Raffle, a member of the League of Women Voters of the Greater Dayton area. I am here today with candidates running for the Judge of the Court of Common Pleas. The candidates are Elizabeth Ellis and Julia Mock. We will start our interviews by giving each candidate 1 minute to tell us about herself and why they will want to serve as Judge of the Court of Common Pleas. Ms. Ellis, would you please tell us why you want to serve, please?
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity to be here. I am Judge Elizabeth Ellis. I was born and raised in the Miami Valley area, and I want to serve as Judge of the Court of Common Pleas because this is my home, and I care about this community. And I was raised by parents who were very civic-minded, and they led me to a career in public service. I have 22 years prior to taking the bench, I was an attorney for 22 years. I was an assistant prosecuting attorney for 21 of those years. And 10 of those years, I was civil division chief for the prosecutor's office. And over the past year, I've presided over hundreds of criminal and civil cases. And it has been my honor to serve as your judge. And I'm asking for your vote on November 5th to continue the work that I've started. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Mock, would you please tell us why you wish to serve as the Judge of the Court of Common Pleas?
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity to participate. My name's Julia Mock, and I'm running for Montgomery County Common Pleas Judge because I have had a career in public service and I want to continue to serve our community. I'm a Dayton native, born and raised. I graduated from Chaminade Julienne and University of Dayton undergrad and law school. And my life that background has led me to commit myself to servant leadership. And I believe in giving back to my community. I've been a public defender in Montgomery County since 2011, serving in the courts of Montgomery County and serving the citizens of Montgomery County. And so my goal is to continue that as a representative on the bench and to make sure that when you walk into my courtroom, your voice is heard and we make sure that we are crafting dispositions that are appropriate, accountable, and responsive to the people in front of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'm going to ask each candidate the same question. You will have 2 minutes to answer the question, and then I will move to the next candidate to give them 2 minutes to respond to the question. Ms. Ellis, describe the non-judicial experience that qualifies you to be a common pleas court judge.
Thank you. I have extensive criminal, civil, and appellate experience. And I think to know what a common pleas court judge does, you should know the law that they preside over. And so criminal cases that are felonies, adult felonies, come before the Court of Common Pleas General Division. Civil cases and controversy of more than $5,000 and administrative appeals. And I've spent the past 21 years working in all of those fields, criminal, civil, and appellate. Additionally, as a civil chief for the prosecutor's office, I have the unique experience of being legal counsel for the Court of Common Pleas. So I not only understand the legal issues that come before the Court of Common Pleas as litigants, but also as their legal counsel and what it takes to run an effective courtroom. And also as a career public servant, in the civil division, I have spent a lot of time understanding and learning the sunshine laws for Ohio. And that is why I have focused on transparency in the courtroom as a way to instill faith and integrity in the courtroom. And I have, I've tried every case from a traffic case, and I sat as appellate counsel on a death penalty case. And there are death penalty cases on my docket, and I'm the only candidate with experience in death penalty litigation. I'm the only candidate with serious felony litigation experience.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Ms. Mock, please describe the non-judicial experience that qualifies you to be a common pleas court judge.
Absolutely. So I have been practicing in Montgomery County since 2008. I began my career with Legal Aid of Western Ohio, and while there, I did a lot of, I focused mainly on civil work and assisting with divorces as well as landlord-tenant issues and foreclosure issues, because in 2008, that was a really big issue that a lot of our citizens were facing. Fast forward a few years, and I ended up at the Public Defender's Office, and there I have had, and while here, I've had the opportunity to represent clients in misdemeanor court and felony court. I've handled appeals. I've handled jury trials at both the misdemeanor and felony level. And I've been able to practice in the majority of courts in Montgomery County. And I feel that that is really impactful, because those cases are that a felony or that the common pleas judge sees are coming from all over our county. And so I've had opportunities to interact with law enforcement, interact with prosecutors, and interact with the judges of our county and see the issues that each of those jurisdictions are facing and know what the citizens of those jurisdictions are facing. And I think that will be impactful from the perspective of a judge, because I have seen the inner workings of our county. I know what our priorities are, and I know what is important to our community. Additionally, while with the Public Defender's Office, I've been able to manage the misdemeanor division, and now currently I'm in an administrative role where I deal more with budget and internal policies. And so that also affects those types of civil cases that would come in front of us and that I would be adjudicating. So I think I have a well-rounded background, and I will absolutely do my best to make sure I'm meeting the needs of everybody who comes in front of me.
Thank you. Ms. Mock, among judges, who would you identify as a mentor or role model, and why? Please choose one individual.
Oh, that's really tough. I think I would have to identify Judge Carl Henderson. He is on Dayton Municipal Court judge, and I think he was the first Dayton Municipal Court judge I was in front of early in my practice. And I was the first to reach out to me and ask, would I consider ever running for judge? And I think at the time, I was just this little baby attorney and thought, you can't be serious. But, he spoke with me over the years, and, my practice in front of him, even after cases, he was willing to talk with me and say, maybe, you could do this better, or have you thought about working on these types of skills? And so he has been a mentor. He's talked with me throughout my career. He's been somebody I could ask questions about, how do I move forward if this is something that I'm interested in? And so I appreciate that confidence in me that he has had, and his presence and demeanor on the bench. He is always a judge who is willing to listen to what a client has to say, what a victim has to say, what the prosecutor or what the defense attorney has to say. And that matters. We want to make sure that we're hearing all the voices that are coming into the courtroom. And he always has a demeanor that is professional, that is calm, even when sometimes the courtroom can get a little bit feisty, and he maintains his demeanor. He is calm and steady. And so that is something that I aspire to be. I'm not a person who generally rushes to, hot-headed responses. And so I think that even temperament that he has and that I have would serve me well on the bench.
Thank you. Ms. Ellis, among judges, who would you identify as a mentor or role model, and why? Please choose one individual.
So the first judge that I ever worked with was Judge Rose when he was a common pleas court judge. When I was a law student at the University of Dayton, I clerked for Judge Rose for 2.5 years. And he is what inspired me to want to become a judge. The way he was very fair and balanced, and the way he could handle a business matter in the courtroom and then run into the people on the same litigants on the street and not have any issues, because he treated everybody with dignity and respect. He heard everybody and considered all viewpoints. He really was a model of complete impartiality, and I have modeled my career after him by working in the both criminal and civil divisions of a prosecutor's office. That was the experience he had prior to taking the bench. And so he's someone who I have essentially followed in his footsteps and he has been a leader. And now he is, of course, a federal judge. And so he is obviously a very worthy person to model myself after. And he's been very encouraging and has just been a really good mentor for me throughout my legal career, and very supportive. If I ever have a question, he's there for me. So he's just been an excellent mentor. Thank you.
Thank you. In closing, we would like to provide each candidate with a minute for a closing statement. Ms. Ellis, would you please give us your closing statement?
Thank you so much. I am the only candidate in this race that has been vetted by local attorneys and local officials and recommended to the governor. I've been vetted by the governor's office. I am the only candidate with judicial training and experience. I am the only candidate with extensive, relevant legal experience that handles cases in front of all matters in front of a court of common pleas. I have proven that I can run an efficient courtroom. I run the most efficient of all 11 judges of the Court of Common Pleas. I have the most efficient docket. I have proven that I am fair and impartial, and I provide a safe space for people to feel heard and feel respected. And I have proven leadership by building relationships with other elected officials, including Judge Brandon on his mental health team, and I have been endorsed by the Montgomery County Sheriff. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Mock, in closing, we would like to hear your statement on closing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here with you all today. I really just am so excited about the opportunity to be your next Montgomery County Common Pleas judge. My background in Montgomery County, serving the citizens of Montgomery County, has been committed to public service, and I will continue, whatever my role, to serve our community, to serve our citizens. And I think my skills that I have built over the last almost 16 years have shown that I have an even temperament. I will bring measured impartiality to the bench, and I will make sure that those who come into my courtroom will be heard, and that we will also look at the whole person. And while we hold them accountable, we will make sure we are crafting dispositions that connect them with the resources so they do not end up in our courtrooms again, and that do our best to restore people as best we can. So I hope you'll consider voting for me. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you both for your participation today. Best wishes and good luck to your campaigns. The League of Women Voters encourages all candidates to run an issues-oriented campaign. Our goal is to educate the voting public and strengthen our elective political process. The annual Voters Guide will be distributed on the second week of October in the Dayton Daily News, AIM Media suburban papers, at local libraries, schools, and businesses. Early voting for the upcoming election begins on October 8th at your Board of Elections, or you can request an absentee ballot. However you decide to vote, your opinion matters, and you make our democracy work. Thank you.